Hey guys, yeah, yabona today it was interesting. Advocate Mnisi, advocate Mnisi, advocate Mnisi. Utai, where Gininda? You know, one of your biggest problem here is that you are trying to anticipate what I'm going to say, and that's basically one of your biggest problem. You are trying to, you are trying to preempt what I will say. Utai. Oh, relax, Baba. Follow my questions. I must say, I was listening to Gininda, trying to explain why he did not interrogate Kelly Kumalo. The man lost it. You know, we will talk about that. No, the man lost it. We'll talk about that. The man lost it. Yeah, like, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I was asking myself a question to say, how could you say that? Like, how could you? You shouldn't have said that. But listen to Gininda. Listen to Advocate Mnisi. Here.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you, Brigadier. You know, Brigadier, that is exactly your problem. You're trying to understand me. You're trying to read my mind. Don't do that. Understand the question that I am asking you. Because when you're going to try and read my mind, you'll never be able to do that. All that you can do, and I'm requesting you to do, is understand my question and respond to my question. Do you understand?
My lord, I understand. But I try to assist.
Okay, as we proceed, I want to read something and then we'll get back to exactly what are you saying the reason why you didn't extend to the other people in the house is because the team of prosecutors leading you didn't give you the instruction to do so? Gininda, no, such was not discussed in terms of who you can pursue. You get guidance in terms of the docket. In terms of Kelly Kumalo, at the time when we had sight on all of the accused, Miss Kelly Kumalo, it was alleged she was a trigger point. How do you pursue that person to us having a sight on this accused? She was a witness whom her phone was stolen. Subsequent to that investigation, she is now fingered as a trigger point. How do you pursue that? Investigation needed to be done either to collaborate or disprove these facts. This is Gininda. He then continues to say, unfortunately, the investigation proved otherwise. There was also, this is where basically I lost him. Unfortunately, when he says, unfortunately, investigation proved otherwise. Remember that you see this thing of giving us a long paragraph. Remember that he just said to us, he states the reasons and why he will not what it takes for them to prosecute somebody. Because he's stating too long paragraph, he has already given us two assertions. One is that she's a witness. Two is that the reason she's not a witness is because she's a suspect. So when he goes down and say, unfortunately, investigation proved otherwise, what do you mean? Because if, for instance, we say she was suspected to have, to be the mastermind, then you say, unfortunately, investigation proved otherwise. You know what you are saying? You are saying she's not the mastermind. But because you have previously stated or mentioned two mutual disruptive versions, one, she's a witness, the other one, she's a suspect. When you then go down and you hear the word, unfortunately, investigation proved otherwise, what are you supposed to make of that statement? That is such has been the problem dealing with Gininda. He gives you a long list of things, but when you want to follow exactly those things, and then it's difficult. And then Advocate Mnisi was like, you know what? Today I am going to ask you the same question until I get the answer. Judge Ratawati, mina, I am independent and impartial. Anitingeni. Pendula imbuzo Gininda. Athi Judge Rata, I know. I'm independent and impartial, and it ends there. So I'm going to ask you a simple question. When Gininda says, unfortunately, investigation proved otherwise, what is otherwise? One, why are you not subscribing to this YouTube channel? Vele, why? This is what you need to do here. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, it is free of charge. To click the notification bell, it is free of charge. To share this video, it is free of charge. To watch this video until the end, it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads, it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, so let's proceed. I'm going to play you another video. I don't know what's going on with my eyes. Oh, Jehovah. But yeah, let me finish this. Miss Kuma Lucinia is the first. Okay, I will leave this one. I've covered it on my live stream. I'm gonna leave this one. Let me see. I wanna rush forward because there's another point that I wanna touch. Right. After lunch.
Thank you, sir. So, amongst others, the reason why you ultimately had to conclude that they were indeed intruders, it was because you went through the statements of the witnesses who were in the house. Not so?
No, not really. As I've said, my lord, the people who were in the house were questionable to me. So I didn't really want to rely on. I wanted to rely on the circumstances around them to see if there's credence or there's evidence to support what is being alleged. So what I relied on was the statements of the neighbors. If we talk about statements, my lord, was the reliance of the cell phone, which I've indicated, my lord, that it was picked up at a different tower when everyone else could be accounted for at the hospital. It was the issue of the DNA, my lord, where I said there was a DNA which excluded the people who were in the house, because one would have expected that if there were no intruders, that DNA that was found in the house should have been read into the people who were in the house. But there was a DNA that was picked up there which excluded everyone in the house. What it indicated, there was a donor except the people who were in the house. So I looked at the statements of the neighbors, and I tried to look at the forensic evidence in the form of the cell phone tower in relation to the phone that was alleged that it was robbed, the movement of Mr. Longe's Twala insofar as the tracking system of how it went, my lord, and the DNA, because those for me were reliable, were credible. That was credible evidence. But in addition, then I looked at the neighbors, which in my view, my lord, as I said, I couldn't find reasons to believe that these people could be influenced. Then yes, indeed, what those people said, I then matched it with what the people were saying in the house. But my focus was not on them, because at that stage, I was not sure as to whether, what they were saying was the truth or not at the beginning, my lord.
Mnisi asked this question. Will I be correct to say that the reason why Zandi was not approached for a possible ID parade, there was a possible suspicion hanging over her head about the possibility that she was involved, although it was not so clear in the beginning, but later on investigation continued, she was cleared. Gininda, no, that context, no, not to that context. The question was, what was it, is that she knew when there was a communication, not to that she was involved. From the beginning, there was no indication that she knew. There was no evidence implicating her. All we wanted was to establish, is what she know in terms of the communication with her sister. I'm going to come back to a specific point. I just wanted to pass through this. Okay. There's a question that was asked by Advocate Ngomezulu. Mnisi. Oh, Gininda. And the point is key. Mnisi, in fact. Mnisi. He takes the statement from Kelly Kumalo and say, look at these statements. These statements are simply saying, Kelly Kumalo can even describe the witness, right? We all agree, based on the statements. And then Gininda has asked the question. So tell us, when you had the privilege of asking Kelly Kumalo those critical questions, why didn't you do so? The answer, Bafethu. The answer. Gininda should not have answered the way he answered. Because Gininda says, Gininda firstly says that he points fingers to the prosecution team. But then he comes back and he says, the reason those questions were not asked it is because Kelly Kumalo brought a lawyer. The lawyer would have objected to some of the questions. You know what it means? It means that the reason the people that we have arrested is simply because they didn't have a lawyer. If they had a lawyer from then, you wouldn't have done what you have done to Ntanzi, to be specific. Clearly tells us Mjako wasn't doing his work. You were not scared of Mjako as a lawyer. You were scared of Kelly Kumalo's lawyer. That you see, that's the question I said to myself. When the man answered that, I was like, you lost it, Barry. I was like, Barry, you lost it. You should not have answered that way. Because now you have invited a lot of suspicions upon you. And I'm the first to suspect you. The reason Ntanzi is where he is today is simply because he didn't have a lawyer. Because you were scared of Kelly Kumalo's lawyer. You just said it now. That's why you couldn't ask Kelly Kumalo some of the most important questions.